So matter can be classified into pure substances and mixture. These can be further subclassified. Alright, so matter, pure substances and mixtures, right? So homogeneous here would be solutions. Heterogeneous here would be suspension and color. So we're basically just going to discuss these stuff and then separation techniques, and that will cover the topic, right? So matter can be classified into pure substances or mixtures. Pure substance, it can either be the elements, pure elements, or it can be compounds. I remember that compound, for example, sodium chloride, it would be pure if it's pure sodium chloride. Because the sodium and the chloride and chlorine in sodium chloride, they have totally different physical and chemical properties from the sodium metal or the chlorine gas. So as you can see, even though there are two different elements combined to form a compound, the compound itself is pure because it has different physical and chemical properties from the elements. So it is still pure.
Pure in one state.
Yes. I'm just using the example of say sodium chloride. So if you have sodium chloride solid and you have sodium metal solid, they will behave differently. So they have different melting point, boiling point, they have different reaction, different solubility, different color, different weight. Right? But they are both pure compounds. Chemically they are pure. While mixtures would have two or more compounds or even elements, but they are not chemically combined. Yeah, they are not chemically combined.
The particles can be separated.
Good. Without any physical
force,
process. Good. So mixtures don't need any chemical reaction to separate them. Just physical process can separate them, like the techniques which will show you, right? So like evaporation, filtration, like the separating funnel, simple distillation, fractional distillation, chromatography. Those are some of the stuff which we will go into later, right? But just to know that we don't need any chemical process to separate these two, right? But pure substance, you normally need chemical process to separate them. Alright?
Sir,
Yeah?
you need a component when it's a composition.
Yes. Same thing. The component. So these are just some points about the pure substance, right? So the composition component, they are fixed and constant. The physical properties are fixed and constant, like the melting point, boiling point. And the components cannot be separated by any physical process. Right? Good. Now remember that pure substance are elements or compounds, right? So for example, we have a compound, so for example, we have a water molecule. There's no physical process that can convert the water into oxygen and hydrogen. It has to be a chemical process to do that.
So that will be a fixed
Yes.
component.
Right?
Pure component.
Alright, the next thing to define is an element. An element is a pure substance that cannot be broken down into simpler substance by using any ordinary physical or chemical process. And notice the word here, ordinary, because in truth and in fact, like elements, if we talk about radioactivity, an element technically can be broken down, but for the definition purpose, we just say any ordinary or physical chemical process. So normal chemical reactions that occur in the lab will not be able to separate that element, alright? To break down that element, sorry. Remember that these are definitions that you will need to know, right? Alright, so a mixture. So it's like two or more substance, and substance in this case either can be elements or compounds that are physically combined. So there is no covalent or ionic bonds between them, no form of bonding. They're just physically combined. So they're just basically in the same space touching each other. Alright? An example of these would be a solution, suspension, and a colloid. These are examples of mixture, right? A solution is a homogeneous mixture, while suspension and colloid are heterogeneous, alright? We'll soon discuss those. Some points about this again. Composition can vary. Composition can vary. For example, in a solution, the concentration can be different. That's what I mean by composition can be vary, right? Properties are variable. Can be separated physical means. Example like filtration, distillation, chromatography. We're going to go into details with those, alright? So physical process like filtration, distillation, chromatography have separating funnel, and distillation can be simple or fractional distillation. Separating funnel, alright? Let's move on.